Welcome back, everyone. Ready to explore responsible AI in practice.
Definitely.
It's a really insightful book by Toju Duke, an AI expert, and Paolo Giudici, a statistics professor.
Their combined expertise on AI and its responsible application is remarkable.
We'll be distilling the most valuable insights from their work, just for you.
Sounds great.
Get ready, because we're about to tackle some mind-blowing questions,
Well, I'm all ears.
like, can AI manipulate financial markets, or even spread misinformation?
Those are big ones for sure.
And how can we measure an AI's fairness, ensuring it doesn't perpetuate bias?
Fairness is definitely a hot topic in AI these days.
We'll also be discussing the potential trade-off between accuracy and explainability in AI.
Ah, the classic black box dilemma.
And can we create AI systems that are both powerful and sustainable?
Absolutely.
To help us navigate this complex and fascinating landscape, we've got an expert joining us today.
Well, I wouldn't call myself an expert, but I am passionate about responsible AI, and this book really got me thinking.
It's fantastic to have you here.
Glad to be here.
One of the things that struck me was how the book really emphasizes the practical side of building and using AI safely.
It's not just about theory, right? It's about providing concrete steps and strategies that people can actually use.
Exactly.
It starts by laying out how integrated AI is into our lives, from self-driving cars to those personalized suggestions that seem to know us better than we know ourselves.
Oh, those personalized recommendations can be eerily accurate sometimes.
Tell me about it. But the book also delves into this unsettling incident involving an AI chatbot called Replica.
Replica, what was that about?
Well, it allegedly played a part in a scheme against the Queen of England.
Seriously?
Whether the anecdote's completely true or not, it really highlights how AI could be exploited in ways its creators never intended.
That's a bit unsettling for sure.
It makes the need for responsible AI practices even more apparent.
We have to have those safeguards and ethical frameworks in place.
Maximize the benefits while minimizing the potential harm.
Couldn't agree more.
And this need is being recognized globally.
There are so many initiatives popping up, it's hard to keep track.
The book does a good job of outlining this evolving landscape, though.
It really does, like the UN's focus on human rights in AI development.
Right, and the EU's AI Act prioritizing trustworthiness and mitigating those risks.
Don't forget the UK's AI bill. It's all about assessing and monitoring those potential hazards of AI.
And even the US has stepped up with an executive order.
It's all about developing and using safe and trustworthy AI, isn't it?
Exactly. What's fascinating is the common thread running through these policies, despite their different origins.
They all emphasize the importance of principles like safety, transparency, fairness, and accountability.
AI's impact extends far beyond just technological progress. It touches our core societal values.
Absolutely. And then there's the Safe High Eye framework that the authors introduce.
Safe High Eye, what's that stand for?
Sustainable, accurate, fair, and explainable human-centered AI.
Quite a mouthful.
But it basically provides a set of guidelines and metrics for developing and implementing AI systems responsibly.
So it's like a blueprint for responsible AI.
In a way, yes. It's about ensuring that AI serves humanity's best interests.
Sound like a worthy goal.
Definitely. And the book delves into each of these SAFe II principles in detail.
Like accuracy, for example.
Accuracy seems straightforward, but it gets complex with systems that learn and evolve.
Right, it's not just about how well it performs on a specific data set,
You have to consider how it adapts to new information, how it handles uncertainty.
and how it might be vulnerable to biases.
Precisely. And that's where the rank graduation accuracy, or RGA, comes in.
RGA.
It's a way to measure an AI model's performance across different data types.
Ah, so it provides a more holistic view of its accuracy.
Exactly. And then there are benchmarks like SuperGLEE,
Right.
designed to assess large language models, or LLMs.
LLMs, those are the AIs that can understand and generate human-like text, right?
Exactly. And SuperGLEE helps us understand how well these LLMs grasp linguistic information, how well they can reason with language.
So it's like a standardized test for AI language skills.
You could say that. And it's crucial for comparing different models and tracking progress in the field.
Makes sense. We need those objective measures to ensure these models are actually getting better at what they do.
Absolutely. But the book acknowledges that there are often trade-offs to consider in AI development.
Trade-offs. Like what?
Well, for instance, an AI system that's highly accurate might be a black box, meaning its decision-making process is opaque.
Ah, that makes it difficult to understand why it's making certain decisions, even if those decisions are correct.
Exactly. And that brings us to the principle of robustness.
Robustness.
It's about an AI's ability to withstand disturbances and inconsistencies in data, including deliberate attacks.
So it's about making sure the AI can handle real-world data, which
Mm.
is often messy and unpredictable.
Precisely. And to measure this robustness, the authors introduce the Rank Graduation Robustness Metric, or RGR.
RGR, huh?
It quantifies how stable an AI is, how resistant it is to
Well, we
disruptions.
can see how reliable it is under pressure, basically.
Exactly. And this is where things get tricky, because sometimes there's a trade-off between accuracy and robustness.
Meaning an AI system might be very accurate under ideal conditions, but fall apart when things get a bit chaotic.
Or it might be super robust, able to handle anything you throw at it, but at the expense of some accuracy.
So we have to consider those trade-offs carefully, especially when dealing with AI systems making important decisions.
Absolutely. And that brings us to perhaps one of the most crucial yet challenging aspects of responsible AI, explainability.
Explainability.
It's about being able to understand how an AI system arrives at its outputs, the rationale behind its choices.
So we're not just trusting it blindly, but actually trying to peek inside the black box and see what's going on.
Exactly. And this is crucial not only for establishing trust, but also for identifying and correcting potential biases or errors within the system.
Right, because if we don't understand how it's making decisions, we can't be sure those decisions are fair or even accurate in the long run.
Precisely. And the book explores some fascinating methods for achieving explainability.
Like what?
One is Shapley values, which comes from game theory.
Game theory. Interesting. How does that apply to AI?
It allows us to assign importance to different features within an AI model to see which factors are most influential in its decisions.
Ah, so we can pinpoint the specific elements that are driving its choices.
Exactly. And then there's the Rank Graduation Explainability Metric, or RGE.
RGE, another rhetoric.
It helps quantify the impact of individual features on the accuracy of an AI system.
So it gives us a more granular understanding of its inner workings, basically.
Precisely. And again, the book acknowledges that there's often a trade-off between accuracy and explainability.
Meaning a highly accurate system might be difficult to explain, while a more explainable system might sacrifice some accuracy.
It's a delicate balancing act, and it requires careful consideration and ethical awareness.
Especially as these AI systems become more integrated into our lives.
Absolutely. And that leads us to another core principle of safe AI, fairness.
Fair.
We want AI to be objective, impartial, but we have to remember that AI systems are created by humans.
And humans are inherently biased, right?
Exactly. So there's always a risk that those biases can seep into the AI systems we create.
And if we're not careful, those systems can perpetuate and even amplify those biases, leading to unfair or discriminatory outcomes.
That's a major concern. And the book delves into the complexities of how bias can infiltrate AI systems, examining concepts like group-based fairness versus individual fairness.
Group-based versus individual fairness. What's the difference?
Group-based fairness is about ensuring equitable outcomes across different demographic groups.
So making sure an AI system isn't disproportionately rejecting loan applications from people of a certain race or gender, for example?
Exactly. While individual fairness is about treating similar individuals alike, regardless of their group affiliation.
Ah, so it's about ensuring that two people with similar credit histories are treated the same, even if they come from different backgrounds.
Precisely. And the book tackles this tricky question of how to define and measure fairness in a meaningful and practical way.
Because fairness can be subjective, depending on your perspective.
Exactly. And to help with us, the authors introduce the Rank Graduation Fairness Metric, or RGF.
RGF, another one. These metrics are starting to pile up.
It helps assess the degree to which an AI system's predictions are independent of protected attributes, like race or gender.
So it's a way to quantify how fair the system is, basically.
Exactly. But addressing bias in AI goes beyond metrics and technical solutions.
Right. It's also about human values and ethical frameworks.
Making sure those AI systems align with our societal principles of justice, equality, and respect for human rights.
Absolutely. And that brings us to another vital principle within safe AI, privacy.
Privacy.
In an era where data is like gold, protecting sensitive personal information is paramount.
And privacy in the context of AI goes beyond just data security, right?
It's about ensuring that AI systems are designed and used in a way that respects individual autonomy and control over their personal data.
It's about empowering individuals, not exploiting them.
Exactly. And the book explores a range of techniques for preserving privacy within AI systems.
Like differential privacy, which adds a bit of randomness to data to obscure individual identities.
It's like blurring faces in a photo.
Yeah.
The overall scene is still recognizable, but individual details are obscured.
Precisely. And then there's federated learning, which allows AI models to be trained on decentralized data sets without sharing the raw data.
So the AI can learn from the data without actually seeing the individual data points.
Exactly. And then there's homomorphic encryption, which sounds like something out of science fiction.
Homomorphic encryption.
It allows computations on encrypted data without decrypting it.
So you can analyze sensitive data while it remains completely hidden.
Exactly. It's pretty mind-boggling, isn't it?
It is. What else do they cover?
They also discuss secure multi-party computation, or MPC.
MPC.
It's a way for multiple parties to collaborate on a computation without revealing their individual inputs.
So you can work together on a project involving sensitive data without needing to fully trust each other.
Exactly. And to measure the privacy implications of AI systems, the authors introduce the Rank Graduation Privacy Metric, or RGP.
RGP, another metric. I'm starting to lose track.
It helps determine how much an AI's predictions depend on individual data points that should be protected.
So it gives you a way to quantify those potential privacy risks.
Precisely. But beyond technical solutions, the book stresses the need for clear policies, regulations, and ethical frameworks.
To guide the responsible use of data in AI.
Exactly. We need those robust legal safeguards and ethical guidelines to ensure that AI development doesn't infringe on our right to privacy.
Absolutely. Privacy is a fundamental human right that shouldn't be sacrificed in the name of technological progress.
Couldn't agree more. And that brings us to the final principle within safe AI, sustainability.
Sustainability. I usually associate that with environmental concerns.
It's definitely part of it, but sustainability in AI is broader than that.
It also encompasses social and economic considerations.
Exactly. It's about ensuring that these powerful technologies are deployed in a way that benefits society as a whole, both now and in the future.
So it's about considering the long-term implications of AI development and making sure it aligns with our values and goals for a sustainable future.
Precisely. And the book does a commendable job of unpacking the different dimensions of sustainability in AI.
Like the environmental impact, for instance.
With the size and complexity of AI models growing rapidly, their energy consumption is a growing concern.
All that computing power requires a lot of energy, which contributes to carbon emissions and can exacerbate the challenges of climate change.
Exactly. And then there's the social impact, like concerns about job displacement and the potential for AI to widen existing inequalities.
Right, we have to consider how AI might impact employment and make sure its benefits are distributed fairly.
Absolutely. And then there's the economic dimension.
Making sure that the benefits of AI outweigh the costs.
Not just the immediate financial costs, but the long-term economic consequences for society as a whole.
It's a complex equation, for sure.
It is. And to address these various aspects of sustainability, the book proposes a range of solutions.
Like what?
For the environmental side, it highlights the importance of developing more energy-efficient hardware and algorithms.
So AI systems that can learn and adapt without consuming vast amounts of energy.
Exactly. And from a social standpoint, it stresses the need for policies and initiatives that support individuals whose jobs might be displaced by AI.
And ensure that the benefits of AI are shared equitably.
Precisely.
Mm-hmm.
And to measure all of this, the authors introduce the Rank Graduation Sustainability Metric, or RGS.
RGS. I've lost count of how many metrics we've discussed.
It can be applied to different aspects of AI, from energy consumption to social equity.
So it gives us a way to quantify the sustainability of an AI system.
Exactly. But beyond metrics and technical solutions, the book advocates for a holistic approach to sustainability in AI.
Considering the interconnectedness of environmental, social, and economic factors.
Exactly. It's about working towards AI systems that contribute to a more sustainable future for all.
Sounds like a worthy goal.
It is. And that concludes our exploration of the safe AA principles. Accuracy, robustness, explainability, fairness, privacy, and sustainability. Quite a comprehensive framework.
It is. But the book doesn't stop there. It goes on to examine the crucial role of human oversight in AI development and presents a real-world case study to illustrate how these principles can be put into action.
A case study? What's it about?
It focuses on credit scoring, and it's a fascinating example of how to navigate the complexities of responsible AI in a real-world setting.
Sounds intriguing. Can't wait to hear more about it.
We'll delve into that in the next part of our deep dive.
Looking forward to it.
Picking up where we left off, the book dives into this really important idea of human-centered AI.
Human-centered AI.
It's like this underlying message throughout, emphasizing that AI should ultimately serve us humans, not the other way around.
It makes sense. We don't want to become slaves to our own creations, right?
Exactly. And the authors argue that human judgment is still absolutely crucial.
Especially in situations where just being accurate isn't enough.
Right?
Like, think about those high-stakes decisions where ethics, societal values, even intuition play a role. Healthcare, criminal justice, things like that.
Those are the areas where relying solely on an AI's output, even if it's statistically accurate, could have unintended consequences.
Big time. And the authors make a really compelling case for what they call human-in-the-loop systems.
Human in the loop, what does that mean?
It's about designing AI systems that are built to incorporate human feedback, human oversight, almost like a partnership between humans and AI.
So it's not about replacing human expertise, but augmenting it with the capabilities of AI.
Precisely. We get the best of both worlds.
That makes sense. But for that to work, we need clear communication.
That's another key point the book emphasizes. AI developers need to be transparent with end users about the capabilities and limitations of their AI systems.
So users need to understand what the AI can and cannot do, where the potential risks or biases might lie.
Absolutely. It's about empowering those users to make informed decisions about how they interact with AI.
Okay, that all makes sense in theory. But how does this work in practice?
Well, the book actually presents a really compelling case study to illustrate this.
Oh, what's the case study about?
It focuses on credit scoring.
Credit scoring. Like the systems that banks use to decide who gets approved for a loan?
Exactly. The authors walk us through the process of building a credit scoring model using the safe AI principles. They highlight both the opportunities and the potential pitfalls.
I can see how credit scoring would be a prime example of where responsible AI is crucial.
Right. You're dealing with people's livelihoods, their financial well-being. The stakes are high.
So how do they go about building this model?
Well, first, they had to tackle the challenge of accuracy.
How do you build an AI that can accurately predict someone's creditworthiness?
Exactly. It involves analyzing all sorts of data, their financial history, income, employment, things like that.
But even with something as seemingly objective as financial data, there's always the risk of bias creeping in, right?
Absolutely. And that's where those safety high metrics come in. They use them to scrutinize the model.
To ensure it wasn't unfairly penalizing applicants based on protected attributes like race or gender.
Exactly. The goal was to ensure that lending decisions were based solely on financial merit.
That's crucial. You don't want an AI perpetuating existing societal biases.
Absolutely. And they didn't stop there. They also explored the robustness of the AI.
Robustness.
They examined how well it performed when faced with incomplete or noisy data.
Because real-world financial data isn't always perfect, right?
Precisely. It can be messy, inconsistent.
So they were essentially stress testing the AI.
You could say that. And of course, they emphasize the importance of explainability.
Because regulators, customers, even the developers themselves need to understand why the AI is making certain lending decisions.
Exactly. They couldn't just have this black box AI spitting out approvals or denials without any rationale.
I wouldn't build trust for sure.
And to achieve that transparency, they use techniques like Shapley values and the RGE metric.
Oh, those tools for peering inside the black box and understanding how the AI is making its choices.
Exactly.
Yeah,
But they didn't just rely on technical solutions.
they brought humans back into the loop.
Precisely. Building a responsible credit scoring AI isn't a one-time thing. It requires constant monitoring, evaluation, and potentially even intervention from humans.
To ensure it's functioning as intended, that those biases aren't creeping in, and that it's serving its purpose of providing fair and accurate lending decisions.
Exactly. This case study is such a fantastic illustration of how those abstract principles of responsible AI can be applied in a way that directly affects people's lives.
It reminds us that it's not just about technical prowess, it's about aligning technology with human values.
Precisely. And that leads us to a crucial question that the book poses.
Oh, what's that?
What role do we, as individuals and as a society, envision for AI in shaping our future?
Wow, that's a big question.
It is. And the book doesn't offer any easy answers. But it does equip us with the knowledge and frameworks we need to navigate this complex landscape.
So it's up to us to decide how we want to use AI and what kind of impact we want it to have on the world.
Exactly. It can be a force for good, but only if we're intentional about it.
I like that. We need to be proactive, not just reactive.
Absolutely. And as we're nearing the end of our deep dive into responsible AI in practice, we wanted to leave you with something tangible.
Something to take away from all this.
Precisely. We've distilled 10 key takeaways from the book, a sort of concise guide for navigating the world of AI responsibly.
10 key takeaways. Sounds useful. What are they?
Well, think of these 10 takeaways as your compass for navigating the exciting and sometimes challenging world of artificial intelligence.
Okay, I'm ready to hear them. Hit me with those takeaways.
All right, takeaway number 1 is simply recognizing that AI is practically everywhere. It's in our smartphones, our cars, our homes, and it's only going to become more pervasive.
So we can't just ignore it. We need to understand it.
Exactly. Takeaway number 2 is that AI isn't inherently good or bad. It's a tool. And like any tool, it can be used for positive or negative purposes.
It all depends on how we use it.
Precisely. Takeaway number 3 underscores that responsible AI is a shared responsibility. It's not just on the tech companies or the policymakers.
We all have a role to play.
Absolutely. Takeaway number 4 reminds us that accuracy is important, but it's not enough on its own. We also need to consider robustness, explainability, fairness, privacy, sustainability, that whole picture.
A holistic perspective on AI's impact. I like that.
Takeaway number 5 is a word of caution. Bias can sneak into AI systems in subtle ways.
So we need to be vigilant in identifying and mitigating that bias.
Exactly. We don't want AI perpetuating or amplifying existing inequalities.
Absolutely. What's takeaway number 6?
Takeaway number 6 is all about transparency. We need to be able to understand how AI systems work, the reasoning behind their decisions.
No more black boxes. We need to be able to trust these systems.
Exactly. Takeaway number 7. Privacy is non-negotiable. We need to protect sensitive personal information and ensure AI systems respect individual autonomy and control over their data.
It's about empowering individuals, not exploiting them.
Precisely. Takeaway number 8 emphasizes the importance of sustainability.
Making sure AI development doesn't come at the expense of the environment, social equity, or economic well-being.
Right. We need AI that contributes to a more sustainable future for everyone.
I like that. What about takeaway number 9?
Takeaway number 9 reminds us that human oversight is crucial. We can't just delegate critical decisions to AI systems. We need to keep humans in the loop.
Providing guidance, oversight, making those ethical judgments.
Exactly. And finally, takeaway number 10.
The grand finale.
It emphasizes that the future of AI is in our hands. The choices we make today will shape how AI impacts our world.
Powerful stuff. So it's up to us to ensure that AI is used for good and that it contributes to a better future.
Exactly. It's a call to action for all of us. And that about wraps up our deep dive into responsible AI in practice. We hope you found it insightful and thought-provoking. We'd love to hear your thoughts on this, so feel free to reach out to us on social media or through our website. And until next time, keep learning, keep questioning, and keep championing an AI-powered future that benefits all humankind.
It's been a pleasure joining you on this journey.
Thanks for having us. All right, so takeaway number 1 is just recognizing that AI, it's pretty much everywhere. In our phones and cars.
Our homes. Yeah.
And it's just going to get even more embedded in our lives.
For real.
So we got to understand it.
We do.
Takeaway number 2.
Okay.
AI isn't inherently...
Good or bad?
Yeah.
Right.
It's a tool.
It is.
Like any tool, it can be utilized.
For better or worse?
For good or for bad.
Yeah.
And takeaway number 3 is that...
Responsible AI.
Is a shared responsibility.
Oh, for sure.
It's not.
It's on all of us.
Just on the shoulders of the companies creating it.
The policymakers. Yeah.
The policymakers. Exactly.
We all have a part.
We all have a part.
In shaping it.
Takeaway number 4.
Okay.
Is accuracy is important.
It is.
But it's not
the whole picture.
The be-all and end-all.
Right.
We need to think about robustness, explainability, fairness.
Privacy, sustainability.
Privacy, sustainability. We need to look at it holistically.
For sure.
Takeaway number 5.
5.
Bias can sneak into these systems in subtle ways.
It can.
So we got to be very vigilant about that.
Absolutely.
Takeaway number 6.
Transparency.
We need to be able to understand
how they work.
How they work.
Why they're making the decisions they're making.
Yep.
No more black boxes.
Takeaway number 7.
Okay.
Privacy
is fundamental.
Is essential.
Right.
We need to be protecting sensitive information.
For sure.
Ensuring these systems respect our autonomy and our control over
our data.
Our data.
Yeah.
Takeaway number 8.
Okay.
Sustainability. We've got to make sure that AI development isn't at the expense of
the planet or people.
The environment.
Yeah.
Or society or the economy.
We need it to work.
We need it to lead to a better future.
Yeah.
Not a
worse one.
Worse one.
Right.
Takeaway number 9.
9.
Human oversight is essential. We can't just Abdicate
Front face.
responsibility
Important decision.
to these systems.
Yeah.
Takeaway number 10.
Let's hear.
The future of AI
Is up to us.
is in our hands.
That's right.
The choices we make today,
Will shape how AI impacts our world.
they will.
For sure.
It's a call to action for every single one of us.
I agree.
So that about wraps up our deep dive into responsible AI in practice.
Great book.
We hope you found it insightful
I did.
and thought-provoking.
Very much so.
We'd love to hear your thoughts on this.
Me too.
So feel free to reach out to us
Connect with us
on social media
on our website.
or through our website.
Give us a comment.
And until next time, keep learning, keep questioning, and keep championing an AI-powered future
That benefits all of humankind.
that benefits all humankind. It's been such a pleasure having you with us today.
It's been a pleasure being here.
And thank you, our listeners, for joining us on this exploration into the world of responsible AI.
See you next time.
See you next time.